It is with a heavy heart that I bring this community briefing. Earlier this morning, the city of Detroit lost one of Detroit's finest. Police officer Cameron Richardson. He was on the job just over 1 year. He's a family man, has two daughters, served on this department with distinction. He's a veteran in the military, Ranger, Staff Sergeant. With me this afternoon, I have his family, his mother, Mona. I have his father, John. So this is definitely a tragic day for the department. He was killed in a hit and run accident on the east side of Detroit last night. We got a call for service, 911 call at approximately 12:09 a.m. Witnesses called the police. When officers arrived to the scene, they found a Jeep Wrangler. It was a rollover accident. The other vehicle that was involved had left the scene, according to witnesses. They described the vehicle as a white van. I want to thank Michigan State Police, who also responded to assist. My Trooper 2 was able to locate, MSP Trooper 2 was able to locate that white van a short distance away from the accident. Officer Richardson was, we believe, he didn't suffer. I will say that much. He didn't suffer, which is important. We have a person of interest. We have worked tirelessly since this incident occurred. Of course, the family hasn't been to sleep. My officers haven't been to sleep as well. And we've executed 2 search warrants. We've identified individuals who were in that white van. And we know we have a person of interest. We know who the driver is. We're asking the driver to turn themselves in, do a safe surrender. I want to thank the members of the Detroit Police Department, the 9th Precinct as well. I want to thank my command officers. I want to thank everyone who responded last night. I'll give you a little particulars of the accident. Officer Richardson had completed a tour of duty at work at the 9th Precinct. He was headed home. He was traveling northbound on Hoover, and at the intersection of Griner, from what witnesses described, that white van was attempting to make a left turn or turn in front of his vehicle, striking the Jeep, which caused a rollover accident. And from there, of course, we know that the suspects in the vehicle fled. I want to thank everyone who reached out to offer support. On social media, I looked at some of the comments, and what did give me comfort is that Detroiters are wishing the department well, sending up definitely prayer hands for Officer Richardson. He was a good officer, a fine officer, served with, when I say distinction, even though he had a year on the job, what I will tell you is, even coming out the academy, with the Michigan Commission on Law Enforcement Standards, Officer Richardson received the Leadership Award from the state. His friends describe him as somewhat quiet, but very, very conscientious and thorough. And so we will never forget him. He has two daughters, And, you know, we're going to wrap our arms totally around this family right here. The mayor sends his support and is standing by. I want to thank City Council as well, who have reached out and offering their support. I want to thank Darrell Woods from the Board of Police Commissioners, who is standing here with me as well. Deputy Chief Hayes, special thank you to you for being there on the scene, fast, ASAP. Deputy Chief Sloan, the captain of the precinct, Star Gonzalez, all of the supervisors of the 9th Precinct. My officers at the 9th Precinct recently have been through a lot. We attended a funeral where we lost a lieutenant at the 9th Precinct just recently. So we were at a funeral yesterday as well. So my troops at the 9th Precinct, we are sending special prayers your way. And so with that, I'll open it up for questions. And if I forgot anybody as far as thank you, you know, charge it to the head, not the heart. Headquarters surveillance is actively out there looking for this individual right now. And I expect to be able to give an update shortly that we have him in custody. I will tell you this, he's a 28-year-old male, and I'll leave it at that. I'll open it up to the media now for questions.
Chief Faraz from Channel 7. First of all, sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
You mentioned that Officer Richardson served with distinction. Would you mind just highlighting some of his achievements while he's been on duty?
You know, just coming to work, I mean, being there, showing up, taking on extra details, overtime, thorough reports, just being that leader, that shift leader. That's how he's been described to me.
How would you want people to remember him?
When you look, you could even look at his Facebook page. When you look at Officer Richardson, just the image and what he portrays is the way he wears the uniform, whether it was serving his country, serving the men and women, and serving the citizens of this fine city right here. I would say a humble servant. He was just a servant. He served. He wanted to be a Detroit police officer.
Thank you. One last question is, I know you mentioned about the suspect. You have a person of interest right now. You believe that you know who this person is. Would you mind sharing with us where is the holdup right now in terms of apprehending the suspect?
Well, he's fled, and so I mean I don't know how to say it any. You know, he hasn't turned himself in, and so we will have him shortly. And I'll just leave it at that. It's not on our end. It's on the suspect's end. But I'm pretty sure that his family and his loved ones are talking to him and saying, turn yourself in.
Are you still looking for the public's help?
If they can, I would say we're always looking for the public's help, and they could reach out to 1-800-SPEAK-UP. But right now we're in close contact with the suspect's family, and we believe that he will turn himself in. So, but if he doesn't, and it goes on more than a day, at that point I'll give an update and I will put his name out there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, just a quick question. Once again, sorry for your loss.
Yes.
I'm curious if in this investigation you found that the suspect, the 28-year-old, was under the influence at all in the car?
Because we don't have him, and we weren't able to test, it's just preliminary at this point. But what I can tell you is that with the recovered vehicle, we did find a firearm in the car as well. So.
And the other question I have is, was there anyone else in the car with this 28-year-old suspect, or was it just him?
Yes. It was multiple occupants, and we have detained a couple of those occupants. So we definitely know who the suspect is.
Did they turn themselves in?
No. We executed search warrants and we made some arrests.
All right, my last question for you is, what other type of investigation is ongoing? Is there still some type of police presence at the scene doing any type of work, or really you're just waiting for the suspect to turn himself in?
It's always additional work to be done, camera access, pulling video, things of that nature.
Okay,
Thank
thank you.
you.
Anybody else have any questions? Ashley, come to the podium.
Hi, I'm Annie Snabs with the Detroit News. I was wondering, have you located where the suspect is at this moment?
I'm not gonna say, but we should have him in custody shortly.
All right. With the people that he just mentioned, are you interested in pressing charges against anyone else besides this individual?
It's preliminary, and as our investigation continues, but I would say individuals and with the firearm in the car, and we'll present the information to the Wayne County prosecutor, and she'll make the charging decision.
I also wanted to ask, with your officer's sad passing earlier today, was that kind of an immediate on the scene he passed, or was he taken to a hospital?
The Officer Richardson,
Yes.
it was quick. He didn't suffer.
I don't know if now is the right time or later, but would any members of his family be willing to share any words?
They'll be available. He said no. He said no, not at this time. Yeah. And the family's been through a lot, so we ask that you let them grieve. But I am so thankful that they came to stand with us, and we're going to be praying, and we will wrap our arms around this family. Thank you. Thank you. All righty. Thanks.